Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Yambakam yajamahe, Sugandhim pushtivardhanam, Urvarukamiva bandhanan, Mrutyurmukshiyamamrutat. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Sahanavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavahai Tejasvi Navahitamastu Ma Vidvishavai. Om Shant Shant Shanti. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityoma Mrutangamaya. Om Shant Shant Shanti. Good morning. దసరా బాగా జరుపుకున్నారా? పుస్తకాలు ఏమైనా చదివారా ఆ టైంలో? నో. Could you read something in the holidays? Not much. You have to fall in love with books, with English language, with words, with sentences, and things will happen. So please see page number 43. History of the world is the history of few men who had faith in themselves. That faith calls out the divinity within. You can do anything. You fail only when you do not strive sufficiently to manifest infinite power. As soon as a man or nation loses faith, death comes. History of the world is the history of few men who had faith in themselves. Not everybody creates history. Not everybody finds his or her way into the history books. Few alone create history. We always remain as readers of history, not creators of history. If you want to create history, if you want others to read about you in future, so Swamiji is saying here, giving us a secret that you need to have that faith in yourself. What happens if you have absolute faith in yourself? That the divinity that is latent in you will find expression. Okay? The powers that are there hidden in you, they all will come out. They all find manifestation. They all find expression. That's all. What we need to do in life is, what we basically are seeking is expression. It is there already. Swami says, all perfection is within you. Only thing is, it's not finding full expression because there are obstacles. Clear the obstacles, clear the hurdles, and give full expression to the inherent divinity that is already in you. Here I could do actually. Swami Vivekananda could do and is asking us to do. Again, he's saying here, as soon as a nation, a man loses faith, death comes. What it means for a nation to lose faith in itself. For a nation to lose faith in itself means losing faith in its values, in civilizational values, losing faith in its customs, losing faith in its traditions, and losing faith in its way of life itself. That's what happened with India. The post-independence, you know what happened in our country, what we have been doing for the last 70 years, just imitating the West, just imitating other civilizations' model of development. That has turned out to be a kind of, suicidal for this nation, if I am allowed to use the word. For whatever the mess that you see in Indian society today, for whatever the confusion, whatever this competition, this corruption, this struggle, all this is because we have lost faith in our civilizational values. We have lost faith in the way of life that our forefathers have set for us. Swami says, actually, always try to develop in the path of least resistance. You can't make the Ganga flow back to its source, he said. So, what actually has been the traditional way of life set before us? Basically, we are a race of contemplatives, mystics, yogis, and sages. It means what? We always have learned, we have understood the truth that true happiness lies within, not through money, not through material things. Okay? All the happiness that you're really seeking actually is within you, live within you. Your ultimate source of happiness, your infinite source of happiness is within you. So our people have understood this truth and have been telling for ages that seek it from within. Don't in the material things, don't in matter, don't in money. Because once you start seeking in money and material things, everybody will be competing for those limited material things. Then there will be competition, there will be corruption, there will be exploitation, there will be selfishness, all these things. So all the psychic distortion will take place. That's what happened to India. The Swamiji said actually, maybe the ideals that other countries have, they may be good for them. They may be good for those civilizations, but not for you. You have had your own civilization values. You have had your own way of life. But India actually is one of the oldest civilizations in the world, in fact. So we have experimented with the life more than any other race could do. Okay? Because it's an old civilization. So you have your own civilizational values. Hold on to them. Don't actually underestimate yourself. Swami says one man's food is another man's poison. Don't imitate the Western nations. He says, flash of the lightning is intensely bright, but only for a moment. Okay? Flash of the lightning is intensely bright, but only for a moment. So don't imitate them. It won't do any good to you. But we have not paid any heed to the words of Swami Vivekananda post-independence. Very few of our leaders who ruled this country after independence read Vivekananda and tried to understand the civilizational values of this nation. Mahatma Gandhi had read and he said that after reading Vivekananda, my love for my country has increased 1,000-fold, he said. After reading Vivekananda, my love for this country has increased 1,000-fold. The real actually inspiration for him actually came from Vivekananda only. And Britishers went on saying again and again to us that you are nothing, you are non-entities, you are nothing, you are non-entities, you are uncivilized human beings. We have come to civilize you. That's why we ought to rule you. We believed. And then afterwards, after reading Vivekananda and Mahatma Gandhi, all kind of national leaders, then they came forward, say that these are the barbaric race, not we. They are the uncivilized, not we. Then the confidence came, then the nationalistic feeling arose in people, and then all these people fought for independence and we won independence. Subsequently, post-independence, the people who came to power, they thought that the best way to develop India is to imitate other developed nations. What we have been reading in our social texts, we just see for the last 70 years, India is a developing country, developing country, developing country. First define what is development. So more per capita income, more consumption, more utilization, more use of things, or material things. Will that actually define a civilization, a society as a great or underdeveloped? No. Swamiji says actually we have been trying to prove with how little a man can live. Okay? Whereas other nations actually they are trying to prove how much a man can possess, how much an individual can possess. If everybody competes actually, I want to have maximum. What happens? There will be kind of fight in the society. Corruption is basically that kind of thing. There will be cruelty, there will be unkindness, there will be selfishness, there will be greed. Why? Because everybody wants to have as much as possible. And but what we have been trying to prove in this culture and society is how, with how little we can live. Once you start living in bare minimum, what happens? You can protect nature, you can protect environment, you can be kind and compassionate to other human beings. You will grow as a human being. You will have happiness ultimately from within. So these are the civilizational values we have been holding as dear to us. But post-independence, we thought actually ours is an underdeveloped nation, and what we have been trying to do since then is imitate the West. But imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. For all the wars that had taken place in the last 100 years or 150 years, you just see for what? Greed, material greed. How much humanity has lost? How many precious lives have been lost because of wars? You think why countries fight for wars with other countries? Because of dominance. They want to assert themselves, they want to have more money, they want to have more per capita income, they want to consume more. Ultimately, it results in wars. Humanity will come to great grief because of this. That's why India, what values that India has been holding as dear, they are the values which really save humanity. And no other country has these kind of spiritual values. So ours is not an underdeveloped country. India is the most advanced, most progressive civilization in the world. The mistake that we have done is imitating the races and imitating the civilizations which are inferior to us. Do you get the point? Hello? Thank you. Nicely.